Hi guys! So this is a vlog, like it always is. I actually had a really specific thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I was just kind of sitting here writing about some of the stuff in my life, particularly regarding my family. And then in the middle of writing, I logged onto Tumblr and I noticed a couple of different posts about medical situations, about going to the doctor and being frustrated, which I totally understand. Obviously, I've been having a lot of medical issues lately as well, and I've been getting very, very frustrated with the system. But I did want to take a second to talk to you guys about backspace. I wanted to take a second to kind of give you guys a different viewpoint and to give you guys my perspective on the situation. And I'm not directing this at anyone in particular, and I really hope this doesn't come across that way. If it does, I'm so sorry. I don't mean it that way at all. This is just a very generalized rant and opinion session, so hold tight. I guess, honestly, I get so bothered when I see people talking about how doctors are just vindictive people looking to make money, who don't really care about people, who don't have any emotions, or who don't really try their hardest or anything. Because I grew up as a doctor's kid, which is something that not everyone knows about me, because I don't really come across that way. But the fact that there's a way that that can come across pisses me the fuck off. Because, okay, when I say I'm a doctor's kid, my dad is an anesthesiologist. He has been an anesthesiologist since as long as I can possibly remember. He was still in medical school. No, he wasn't in medical school when I was born. He was in residency when I was born. I moved around a lot as a really little kid because my dad was still finishing up schooling. And I pretty much grew up in the hospital. I mean, I loved it. I went on rounds with my dad. I would beg him to let me come along with him and visit patients, because that's the kind of guy my dad was. He spent his days off checking up on his patients. When he runs into people in... I've never talked about this out loud before, so my thoughts are a little scrambled. Forgive me for that one, but... Okay, gathering thoughts. You know, he could choose to do anything, but he cares about people. He would go in and check up on them. He would say, hey, this is my daughter, Sarah. How are you doing? How's your blah, blah, blah? How's your family? How's this? He runs into people in Walmart and stops and talks to them, and they remember him. And I've met tons of doctors through my dad and through my family, and a lot of them are such great people. And you sit there and you want to say that these people are just money-searching, cruel machines, and that's not true at all. The thing is, there's regulations that you have to follow, and just because those regulations don't always help you, it doesn't mean it's the doctor's fault. It means it's the system's fault. Like, for example, I'm sure my dad would love to operate on that 95-year-old lady who needs the surgery, and no one will let it pass because she's 95 and it's too big of a risk. But the thing is, like, people won't allow that. There's insurance to go through. There's a million different problems that you have to go through, and sometimes there's laws that you can't supersede. The thing is, like, I have seen my dad come home in tears. I have prayed for so many people for him. He'll come home and say, Sarah, this baby was born today, and it was really premature, and we're not sure if it's gonna make it, and it's gonna have a big surgery tomorrow. Can we all just sit as a family? And we would all sit there as a family, all 7 of us, and pray for this baby. Or we'd pray for the 85-year-old lady who came in with cancer. We'd pray for the 10-year-old kid who got hit by a car. I've seen my dad cry, and my dad is not a crier. My dad's a tough man, and he's a hardworking man, but above all else, he's a very, very caring person. He's not in this for the money. No one's in this. There's plenty of people who are in their chosen career for the money, whether it be doctors or lawyers or actors and actresses, whatever it is. Like, if it's a high-paying career, yeah, sure, there's gonna be people who are in it, but don't you dare say every single person is, because I have met so many people who aren't. I know that my dad's in it because he cares, because he wants to stitch things up and make them better, because he wanted to do anything he possibly could in order to make this world a better place and help people be healthy. For years and years, I wanted to be a doctor. Sometimes I still do. As many of you guys know, I'm a writing major. One of my biggest dreams is writing for a medical journal. If you've ever read my poetry, it's loaded with anatomical images, and the wording is just very body-based, and you know, that's how I write because that's what I love. And does that make me selfish? No. It sometimes people actually love what they do. I've been writing a piece about this for a while because it makes me so fucking angry when people sit there and have the nerve to say that because my dad is a doctor that he must be money seeking, that he must be doing it because he has a high salary. And I'll admit, like, having a high salary is kind of nice, sure, but we never lived like we were rich people. Most people don't know that I'm a rich kid. And I still hate that term because who the fuck cares? Like, that's not what life is about. It's never been what life is about. You have no idea how insulting it is to me and my family, but also to every single doctor and their family and every single doctor out there who cares. When you sit there and say that what we're doing is worthless, and I know I'm not part of this, but I feel like I am. My dad gave up a lot to be a doctor. He gave more than you will ever understand. He paid to work himself through school. My dad was poverty level, remember, as a child, and he was very determined to get to the point where he could do that, so he worked like 5 jobs through college, because that's what he wanted to do. I really look up to my dad. I don't think what he does is something to be ashamed of or something that I ever will stand for people putting down. And I know that I'm making this a lot about my dad instead of about generalities, but it's because that's what I know. My dad works 80-hour weeks. Do you really think people work 80-hour weeks because they're lazy and just want the money? Like, okay, if you just want the money, there's a million other things you can do. Like, you don't do that for the money. And maybe some people do, but like, if you ever met my dad, you'd understand. We don't have the strongest relationship. I'm not sitting here saying all of this because he's my best friend in the world. We do love each other, but I love him as my dad, not my best friend. I look up to him more than I look up to almost anybody else. And I know that for every person out there like my dad, there's a million other people out there who are like him too. And just because you've been through a particular experience where maybe medicine wasn't working out well for you, or the hospital system wasn't coming through for you, like, stop and take a breath and realize that maybe that's not about the doctor. Maybe the doctor just can't do what they want to do because of insurance, because of hospital regulations, because of different things that are coming in the way of it. You know, sometimes you can't help that. It just makes me really frustrated to see all of this hatred for doctors and people working in medicine that's totally not deserved. My family has suffered enough because of my father's job. And I know you can sit there and be like, you don't suffer at all, but we do. Because of the fact that my dad works 80-hour weeks, we don't have a relationship. Because he works more than he spends time with his family, and it breaks his heart as much as it breaks mine, and because we love him, and he loves us. I mean, it's not like we're any different than any other family. I guess I'm just kind of rambling now, so I'll cut this off, but I did want to take a second to kind of get somebody's thoughts out there, Because, I mean, I do think it is really important, and it had a right to be said. But, okay, on that note, I'm gonna close this off, and if you listened to all of this, thank you so much for listening. I really hope, even though I'm not the most eloquent person in the world, I do hope I got some of my thoughts across, and I hope they made sense, and if you listened and took any of them in, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and I hope all of you guys are having a good day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, bye guys.